Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 2012 Mini John Cooper Works GP. Now this was produced between 2012 and 2014 as a limited edition model run of 2,000 units, and it's a track-focused performance edition that has more horsepower and more torque than the standard John Cooper Works that we also have on this game from 2009. And it's not just more powerful than that 2009 John Cooper Works either. It's also got larger front brakes that were developed by Brembo, coilover suspension which was designed by Mini and Blistine. It's also got lightweight 17-inch wheels, semi-slick tyres, a rear diffuser, carbon fibre rear spoiler. The rear seats have been removed to save weight, and there are Recaro Sport seats for the front passenger and front driver, which also save weight. As a result, this weighs 144 pounds less than the standard John Cooper Works, making this a more sprightly car and faster in terms of acceleration as well. Not just because of obviously the more power, but obviously that little bit of less weight always helps. So this is easily one of the more hardcore hatchbacks on this game. Yes, it's track focused, but you can also use it on the road as well, and you could get all-weather tyres as well as an option if you didn't want the semi-slick tyres, which obviously don't work that well in the rain. And but the sizable difference outside of everything else is obviously the engine. Now it's got the same 1.6 litre turbocharged inline-4 engine as the standard John Cooper Works, but due to a larger turbocharger and better internal engine components, it now produces 215 horsepower and 206 pounds-feet of torque. So that's 7 horsepower more and 14 pounds-feet of torque more as well. So pretty healthy amount of horsepower and torque there, especially for a car that only weighs 2,557 pounds, making this a really rather powerful, lightweight and agile little hot hatchback. Now granted, it has lost some of the practicality that the standard Mini has. It's still pretty decent on the interior and in the front, but yeah, like I said, no rear seats. Granted, that does mean that you've got a really rather large boot, but yeah, you can only seat 2 people, which, you know, hot hatchback is supposed to do everything, and this clearly doesn't anymore. But as a compromise, it now is faster in terms of acceleration. It's also better in terms of handling. It's a little bit better in terms of balance, in terms of the front and rear weight distribution, as the standard John Cooper Works has 62% at the front. This has 61% at the front. I know that's only a percentage, but you know, it makes all the difference when you're dealing with a front-wheel drive, front-engine car that has a lot of power going through those front wheels. And I really do like the look of it as well. Some of these cars can look a bit desperate when they're a bit more race-orientated, but yeah, the stickers and the extra bodywork all works really well as far as I'm concerned, and it goes nicely with the standard Mini body, to be honest. Nonetheless, let's get out onto the open road and see what it can do. So inevitably, with less weight and more power than the standard John Cooper Works, this is faster. It's also a better sounding car. The turbocharger doesn't seem to sap away the engine noise quite as much as the standard JCW. I'm just going to call it that from now to save time. So this GP version of the JCW is really rather hardcore in terms of handling. You get plenty of oversteer for a front-wheel drive car, but you also get plenty of speed, and it's really rather agile as well, as you'd expect from such a lightweight, powerful car. And with all that extra power and that 144 pounds less in weight, this is also faster, like I said, in terms of acceleration than the standard JCW. So 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, 0 to 114.483 seconds, and it going to a top speed of 150 miles an hour. Now the standard JCW can match this car to in terms of top speed, but in terms of acceleration it's slightly worse. It can do 0 to 60 in 6 seconds and 0 to 114.8. So slightly behind this, but I have to admit, outside of the fact that this is a more fun car to drive, it's obviously a little bit faster, it sounds better, and I think it looks slightly better. It's not really worth the compromise at the end of the day, because it's still got the same top speed, it's only marginally quicker in terms of acceleration, and yet you're having to sacrifice your ride comfort, the fact you only got semi-slick tyres, the fact you've got no rear seats, and yeah, the fact that this is a car that's pretty much hardcore all the time. I doubt this is going to be the easiest of cars to live with. Now granted, it is a limited edition car, it's not a full production vehicle, it's probably never going to really be used as a daily driver, but at the end of the day I feel like a hot hatchback has to be able to do everything. The standard JCW does do that. It's still a quick car, it handles pretty well, it's got all the practicality you'd expect from a hot hatchback, and yeah, it's very nearly as fast as this, whereas, you know, this can't do all of that. Now granted, it is still a really good car to drive, and I imagine on a track it's even better, and yeah, but it's a riot to drive as a, you know, a driver's vehicle. But and then yeah, I just feel like this compromises a little bit too much on the more daily things to really be the quintessential kind of hot hatchback. Because if you look at other hatchbacks like the Volkswagen Golf, for instance, GTI, that's the ultimate hatchback, because it's quick, practical, looks good, and yeah, also a fun drive as well. Whereas this, yeah, sacrifices that practicality for the speed and the acceleration, but the speed and the acceleration really isn't all that much more than a standard JCW, so it just comes off as a little bit of a, you know, a pointless exercise, to be honest. If it was a lot quicker than the standard JCW, then I'd understand, but 0.1 of a second to 60 really isn't going to justify the lack of practicality and the expense and the, you know, the rarity that goes with this kind of vehicle, because, yeah, a rare vehicle like this is obviously going to cost more to run, it's going to be a lot more to insure, certainly, and yeah, it's never going to be as, you know, easy to use on a daily basis. But in terms of actual driving, it's a lot better than the standard JCW, and it's also a lot more fun. It sounds better, and yeah, is marginally quicker. But yeah, just wish it was a lot more faster than the standard JCW to make up for that. Granted, there are other fast minis that are done by smaller manufacturers. There were minis back in the early 2000s or late 2000s that were getting like 230, 240 horsepower that had like superchargers and whatever else. So yeah, you aren't lacking for choice for fast minis in terms of these older ones, but nowadays you aren't really all that well catered for, because yeah, the third generation Mini have gotten a lot longer, a lot heavier, and a lot uglier, and yeah, a lot less sporty as well. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.